Good morning, everyone. Happy Sabbath. I just want to welcome you all here this morning. Today, I'll be doing the health segment. Oh, can you hear me now? Okay. Thank you, Brother Frank. The volume is a little bit louder. So, happy Sabbath once again. I want to welcome everyone into Glorious Hope Ministries. This morning, I'll be doing the health message. And the session this morning will be on charcoal. This is something that we know, that we are familiar with, but I just want to show us again how to make a poultice, how we can use it internally and externally. What are the differences between charcoal and activated charcoal, and how we can apply this natural remedy with no side effects to our life successfully. So let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for bringing us here today. Thank you for allowing us to be in your presence to learn more about you. As I present today to your people, please allow this information to go into their heads and their hearts so that they may use it when it is most useful for them. Amen. Okay, great. Charcoal is one of nature's best amazing remedies because there's no negative side effects. In modern day prescriptions and medications that we take, there are multiple side effects: nausea, vomiting, cramps, many different side effects for the medication that we take that we have to keep in consideration when we take it. However, with charcoal, there's no side effects, and we're going to see what charcoal is. So let me get some input from the congregation. What is charcoal? Sister Shanice says burnt or cooked wood. Let me get another hand or some more input. What is charcoal? Burnt wood. Okay. Any wood. That's a good question. Can any wood be used to make charcoal? No. Why not? Okay, a brother says it has to be from cassie wood. What makes cassie wood so special? All woods are natural. But what makes it the best over others?
Charcoal don't have to come from wood alone because I am a man that use charcoal plenty. You can burn food. You know, when we were young, right? That guy that right there, his grandmother, his mother, we went by her. She lived up in Dam. And we ate manjanil, me and my little brother. And when we came home, mommy gave us charcoal, and charcoal reversed the whole effect.
For those who
Charcoal is
don't know,
amazing like that.
for those who don't know what manganese is, it's a highly, highly poisonous, toxic plant. If you burn the smoke of manganese and it gets in your eyes, you can experience blindness. If the milk of it gets on your skin, you'll get rashes and burns. You'll see them at many different beaches. I've seen them also at Fort and at Long Bay.
Yeah.
Manganese is highly poisonous. So go ahead, brother.
I can say one more thing, right? A lot of the things, that the system was saying was no good, right? Was no good, was a way to stop us from using them, yeah? Because, for instance, nicotine, it's when it's mixed with what put in it. It's when it's mixed with what the system have put in it that it becomes dangerous. You understand? For instance, we have a bush there that we use, castor leaf. They were telling us that castor seeds are poisonous. But the Bible clearly says the grass have given for cattle and the herb of the field for the service of men.
So, Brother Stan, you're right in that the burnt food at the bottom of a pot can be charcoal. Charcoal is just that black, pure carbon substance that you get when food is utterly burnt or a substance is utterly burnt. But the difference between charcoal and activated charcoal is that activated charcoal uses hardwood. That's the first thing. So pine, mahogany, oak, cassie, and you can also use coconut shells to make charcoal. So the first thing is that it must be a hardwood. The second thing is it must be burned in the absence of oxygen. So you're going to put this hardwood, what is accessible to us in the Caribbean would be the coconut shells or the cassie, into a container. It can be a metal container, and you're going to poke a little hole in the top of it, and you're going to put it into a fire. That little hole is so that all the gases and water vapor from the wood can escape. And once this process is completed, you'll be left with the charcoal. The difference between activated charcoal and charcoal also is that regular charcoal has much larger pores and a much smaller surface area. So say, for example, I had filled this bag with charcoal. If a regular charcoal, that not activated, regular charcoal is put in this bag, maybe it could absorb 500 pores per square inch. 500 pores per square inch. If I use activated charcoal, the number will triple. So that means that it's able to absorb much more toxins and heavy metals from whatever the poison or the toxins you're trying to get out of the body. It's much more potent than regular charcoal.
Have a metal.
You have a metal container, you put a lid on it.
I thought that would deactivate.
No, you have to leave a little gap in it for all the water vapor and gases to explode.
Because when you use an active.
No, when I said put it in a container, I'm talking about making it. Yes.
So if you do it.
No, this is in the process of making it.
Okay.
You're converting it from wood to charcoal. But when you're storing it now, it's best to store it in a glass container. And we're going to see why. Okay, so this is the process of making the charcoal. So burnt food is not the same. You cannot use it as activated charcoal. And those charcoal briquettes that you get, you can't use it the same as you would activated charcoal. Activated charcoal, you can get it at many health food stores. They come in pills or in a powder form. However, I find that the powder form is much more versatile to keep on hand. So how does charcoal work? Charcoal works via a process called adsorption. So how does adsorption differ from absorption? Say, for example, we have a sponge and we have a leak on our counter. We would take a dry sponge and we would put it underwater, and the sponge would absorb the water, meaning the water molecules would enter the sponge and leave the counter less wet. And then we could squeeze that excess water into the sink to get rid of the spill. Charcoal works in a different way. When we have charcoal, or when we use a charcoal poultice, it adsorbs, meaning that the toxins and the heavy metals do not enter the charcoal. Again, if I had a charcoal poultice, which I'm going to make in this little bag, and I place it, let me get a volunteer, please, and I place it on my hand or on my neck, wherever the ant's bite is or the bee sting is, the toxin does not enter the charcoal. The charcoal forms a surface on the very top. Okay, thank you, volunteer.
Can I?
Let me just finish explaining the difference between absorption and adsorption, and then I will let you go ahead. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. So adsorption. The charcoal does not take the toxic chemicals and metals into it like a sponge would. However, think of a magnet. If you have some metal nails on this table and you have a magnet and you hold the magnet over the metal nails, they will start to stick on this. But the more nails that you have on the magnet that build up after time, the less nails that you can pick up on the table. You have to decrease the amount that is on the magnet, take it off, and then put on a fresh layer that's on the table. Charcoal works in the same way, and that's why you have to replace charcoal poultices every 30 to 45 minutes because they do not absorb the toxins. It stays on that top layer of charcoal. Does everyone understand the difference between absorption and adsorption now? Okay. Did someone say no? Everyone says yes? Okay.
Okay. I'm talking from experience. I have charcoal that I get from the pharmacy. And I've had situations where I think I eat something wrong and I just go to in the cold pot and pull up a piece of charcoal item and get the same I get the same effect. I'm not sure about everybody else.
I'm telling you that the potency is not the same. Maybe it worked, but the potency is definitely not the same.
Okay.
It's not the same. His faith healed him. Okay, the charcoal advantage. It is readily available. It is quite cheap compared to some of the medications out there, the prescriptions. It is totally harmless, no side effects, and very simple to use. And so it can be used internally as well as externally. So we're going to talk about internal uses first. Nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, intestinal gas. If you know that you eat a piece of fish and the fish is not good and you get some food poisoning, you can take charcoal. What happens is when you swallow charcoal, it goes into your stomach and it coats the walls of your stomach and your intestine. There's some little fine hairs on your intestine called villi. And when it coats this villi, it does the same thing that it would do if you used it externally. It absorbs all the poison and toxins, and then you drink more water. You drink more water, and then you take another session of charcoal, and then you drink water. And so you end up flushing out all those toxins and heavy metals and poisons out of your body. And that is how you're able to get relief from the nausea, the vomiting, the diarrhea, and the gas. The best time to take charcoal is between meals. So it's either going to take it 2 hours before your meal or 2 hours after your meal. Why do you think that that's the best time to take it? Exactly. It does not discriminate when it comes to absorption. So charcoal cannot distinguish between absorbing nutrients, vitamins, or poison. Whatever it comes into contact with, it will absorb. So the best time to take it, so as not to decrease the potency of your medication or not to limit the amount of vitamins or minerals that you get from your food, would be to take it either 2 hours before your meal or 2 hours after your meal. Okay, we said it can be used for food poisoning. So the dose of charcoal to be taken internally will be, let me see what I have in my notes, 2 to 4 teaspoons for adults in 10 ounces of water. And you can take that as needed every hour until you get some relief. Some people take it even more frequently. Now, if you've had charcoal, does it have a taste? No, charcoal does not have a taste. So there's nothing to there's nothing to gag about, exactly. 2 to 4 tablespoons of charcoal in 10 ounces of water every hour. If you can handle it every half an hour, then you can do that. And it's half the dose for children under 12. You can't overdose on it, but it's best to give some time for it to work before you give the body a fresh set of charcoal again. Okay, we said it can be used for nausea. Okay, external uses. if you have ear infections, eye infections, lesions, bee stings, well, we don't have snakes in Antigua, thank God, but spider bites, any infections at all of the skin, you can use charcoal to get some relief. And we're going to make a simple charcoal poultice here. Thank you, assistant. So we have 2 measuring gauges. We have a quarter teaspoon and we have a tablespoon, sorry. A quarter teaspoon and a tablespoon. And we have 3 ingredients. We have some charcoal here. I have mine stored in this little plastic pouch, but this is not really the best. You should really be storing charcoal in a glass container. Have you ever picked up a plastic bottle and seen that it has an expiration date on it? What expires in that water bottle is not really the water, but it's the plastic that degrades over time. So you should really be storing things like charcoal in glass. Does everyone understand? For long-term storage, glass should be used. It's a much better material than plastic because plastic can leach into your food. So I have the charcoal. I have some husk powder. If we don't have husk powder here, we can use ground flax seeds. I've seen that in the supermarket, or flaxseed meal. It's cheaper than this husk powder. Or if you're really in a bind, you can use some cornstarch as well. And the 3rd ingredient is some water. I'm going to have my assistant put a tablespoon of charcoal powder, go ahead, into this quart-sized bag. And you're going to place it in the corner of the bag as much as possible. So you're going to put 1 tablespoon. Go ahead. Don't be afraid. Your hands are going to be a little bit black, but that's okay. Level off the top of it. Keep going. Okay, into the bag in the corner. Very good. And you're going to put some of this husk powder inside of there as well, into the corner. And the reason that I'm placing it in the corner of the bag and not all over is so that I can see when this husk powder is mixed with the charcoal. Because if I just place and dump everything into the bag turns completely black and I can't see when the husk powder is mixed with the charcoal powder properly before we add the water. So you're going to go ahead and just mix that up. Mix it up. Just massage it with the bottom of your hands, yep. Does anyone have any positive experiences using charcoal in the past that they can share? Yes, Eustace? Tell me what happened, why you had to use the charcoal. Go ahead, keep mixing.
So I got food poisoning because, as most of you know, I like to eat.
Okay, I'm pouring a quarter cup of water in here now. Continue, Eustace. We can multitask.
So I ate something and I came home and then I ate something when I came home again. So after I ate that, I threw it up. Yes. So mommy used charcoal and she gave me to drink. And every time I drank it, I threw it up too. So for that 2 hours, I'll just be taking it and then throwing it up. And mommy said I will have to take it until I stop throwing it up. And I'm like, why? Because I don't like the thickness of the charcoal. But I stopped throwing it up and I sleep well.
Amen. So we have the charcoal poultice here. The reason for the flaxseed meal, or we have another success story.
Well, this wasn't for myself. It was actually for my dog. Someone poisoned my dog, and it was in the middle of the night. And the dog came on my gallery, and I heard like it wasn't crying. It was just belching or something, like a weird noise. And it's not a particular. As a matter of fact, it's not a dog I like. It's actually my brother's and them dog. So I wasn't in the mood to really save its life, but I decided to. My mom, when I was younger, she used to boil hot milk and give the dog. But I don't have milk in my home, so I didn't know what to do. And then it just clicked. You have charcoal. So I went. I got. I had it in the tablet form, so I got it. I pounded it, put it in some water, and I had to squeeze the dog mouth and let it drink some. And it didn't drink a lot. It drank just a few. But after a while, it started to vomit, and it was better. And literally, the dog was on death's doorstep. I was actually shocked at how fast it worked. Like within a minute or two, the dog was, yeah. All right.
Okay, let me put a brief input before I allow Sister King to speak. So I've mixed the charcoal with the husk powder and the water. The reason for the addition of the husk powder is because when you mix dirt and the water dries out, you're left with dirt. The husk powder or the flaxseed meal causes to become very gelatinous. So even when the water dries out and it's against your skin, it's not going to turn to powder and mess up your sheets, mess up your clothes. It will stay very gelatinous. Okay, go ahead, Sister.
Oh, sorry. Um, I've seen it being used for a person who overdosed. We were sent to get, not the family, we were sent to get some of the charcoal from the drugstore. And also with that poultice, I had a pain in my hip and I couldn't walk. And a medical missionary friend of mine came and she ground up cabbage leaves and a little olive oil and charcoal, made a poultice. And within a day, I was able to walk. I sort of didn't believe, but she told me also that even though I could walk, she did it again. So the cabbage leaves and the oil, I guess, gave the same consistency as that. I try, this thing that we have, this health message we have, is amazing because so many times I have been helped. My family, this little one, since she was little, we've been giving her stuff on the health message, learning from us. She knows about charcoal. She knows how to look after herself with that. We have amazing information. Thank you for what you're teaching.
So this is our thank you, assistant. This is our charcoal poultice here. If you see, it's not it's I don't want to say non-transferable, but it's not as much as it would be if I was using a loose powder. So you can see I'm putting it on the back of my hand here, but it's not completely black. So you would use this, place it on wherever you have the bite, the sting, the infection, right here. And then you could use I've seen people use saran wrap. I've seen people use plastic, just like a plastic bag, whatever is accessible to you that can keep this in place. I've seen people use cloth, a piece of torn up shirt, an old shirt to just keep it in place. And you'll leave it there for again around 30 to 45 minutes, just like this, to allow the charcoal some time to absorb. And then you will change it out for another one. Because remember, once the toxins have bound to this topmost layer of charcoal, it cannot pull it into the charcoal, so we have to switch it out and get another set. Or you can get something like this. I got this at the one of our health stores here. This is for a much larger section of your body, though. For example, if you have a bite or a sting on your stomach area, you can also use this for a castor poultice. Be doing a presentation on castor poultices in the future as well. You would wrap this around your stomach, and then it just has two buttons here, and then you would tie this right here to keep it in place overnight, so you could sleep and move around. So this is how simple it is. Pardon? You can use it anywhere. Chest, arms, legs. It has multiple different holes you can use to adjust the size of it. And so that's how you would use a charcoal poultice. And I take it off my arm and it's not completely black. And you would just continue doing that until the redness and the swelling has gone down. And that's it. That's how you make a charcoal poultice. The wrap, you can try, there's a store in town called Anne Marie's. I know it as Anne Marie's. Yes. What is the name of that store? Veggie World. Veggie World. You can go to Veggie World and ask if they have any more of these in stock. It's just a cotton wrap. It has a zip at the back that you can put a poultice in as well, or a ice pack or a warm pack if you want it to remain warm.
We have a question over here. They're just asking if it's good for pains.
Yes, you can use it for pains, but people primarily use it when they have inflammation in certain areas of their body. So I know Sister King said she used cabbage when she couldn't walk. So maybe a cabbage poultice would be better if you have a specific inflammation. Where is it? In your foot? The person who asked the question, you have the problem with your foot? The person who said, who just asked?
It was just a general question. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, you can use the charcoal poultice for inflammation. It doesn't have to be bites or what do you call it? Bee stings or anything like that. You can use it for inflammation as well. Yes. I have another hand here.
Does charcoal cause constipation?
Does charcoal cause constipation? I've never experienced constipation with charcoal. However, I do know that you should be drinking more than enough water when you're taking it to prevent any constipation that you could get with it. I could see constipation being a problem if you're not drinking enough water. But if you drink enough water, constipation should not be a problem.
You can be constipated because some people are more sensitive.
Yes,
Their
yes.
stomachs
And
are
you
more
should be
sensitive.
drinking half your body weight in ounces of water daily. So if you're 150 pounds, you need to be drinking 75 ounces of water every day.
One question. What about the charcoal that we make, the local charcoal?
Our local charcoal is good once it has been made in that activated way.
Yes, because most of the coal pits, they put pipes. They put pipes in the coal pits where the toxin, the smoke comes out.
But you also have to ensure that they're using the right kind of wood when they're making this charcoal.
Okay, well, most people use the cassie.
The cassie wood.
Because I know some people grate the local charcoal and gets the powder and they use
You can
that.
also pound it too, yes. Grate it
Okay.
or pound it.
So you can
Local
use the
charcoal is fine once you can be certain that it's made in that activated way and the ingredient that you've used to make it is either a hardwood or the coconut shells. Okay, thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your Sabbath.